This is another Ellwood bowl that sold. This one also sold on Bonanza. You can see there's a cracker and 6 little picks that go in the top. This one's got some wear, but it's still sold for $40. So these are definitely popular this time of year. So $40 on Bonanza. This is a book from the 1950s. 500 tasty snacks, ideas for entertaining. And the photograph is just amazing. It looks very scary. I'm not sure I'd want to eat that. But there's all these like crazy recipes for stuff. And I thought it was hilarious. But I've had this for years and it was on sale and it sold for $9. This is a vintage women's faux fur hat with these little ear flaps that you kind of tie under your chin to keep you warm. And it sold for a best offer of $25. This is a genuine vintage, probably from the 70s, Lilly Pulitzer wrap skirt. You can see the original tag here, Liza by Lilly Pulitzer. You can definitely tell it's vintage. Polyester cotton blend. I had it up for $80, best offer, because some of them don't sell for very much. Mostly the dresses sell for a lot and the pants. And I finally went back and forth with this guy, and I think it's a guy. It's being mailed to a guy, so who knows. And we sold it for $60. So not bad, $60, Lilly Pulitzer skirt. This is a step-down voltage converter. You can see it plugs into a European plug, and then it has a North American plug here, and it changes the voltage for, you know, appliances or, you know, something like a printer or a video camera. We actually bought this to use in Europe, but we did not end up needing it, and it's really heavy to bring in your backpack. So we're selling it, and it sold for $30. These are a set of 4 vintage Atari paddles for different games. You can see it says Atari, tennis, and just tennis, I guess, or whatever game uses a paddle. And they sold on Bonanza, hooray, for $60. This is a Confederate States of America replica holster, all leather, for the dudes who do the Civil War reenactments. This was a pretty nice one, and it sold for $50. This is a Pendleton all-wool baseball cap. It says high-grade Western wear, and it sold to someone in Montana, and it sold on Bonanza for $40. This is a Trek brand bicycle helmet. You can see here. It's got the visor. It is adjustable on the inside too. And it sold for $25. This is a vintage cast iron trivet. I see these all the time. This shape is very, very, very common. And I've had it for a while. It sold on sale for $14. Another vintage ski patch sold. This one sold for $20. So this is a book that Jay found at our local thrift store from 1969. It's called And Autumn Came, and it's a limited edition kind of artist book. I have not even looked at it until now on the inside. But it's kind of like poetry, diary type book. And not very many made. But I did price it low on Amazon. I priced it at $60. There's some up for over $100 that were signed by the artist. But I sold mine for $60 on Amazon. Monopoly Star Wars Limited Collector's Edition. And we know why this sold, because the movie just came out. And this sold for $50. Yay! Okay, this is kind of a dumb sale on my part. This is one of those sales where you go, wait a second, what did I just do? So someone gave me an offer of $20 on this on Bonanza. The problem with Bonanza offers is they specify that includes shipping. Like, that is the final price, that includes shipping. And this lady was like, the shipping's too expensive to California, which is across the country. And so I was like, oh, you know, yeah, I'll do 20. And so I took the offer, and I'm like, wait a second, that includes all the shipping. And, look how big this thing is. When I saw it in the photo, I was like, oh yeah, it's just a Starbucks mug. It's massive. Look at how much it weighs. Okay, let's zero this. It's off by 0.1. It's like over a pound just for this thing. So it's going to be 2 pounds probably to mail across the country. And I sold it for $20 total. So, oh well. I just want it off the shelf, so I'm happy, but not that happy. Another Craftsman charger sold. We have 4 of these. We've sold 2 so far, and they both sold on Bonanza. So this one sold on Bonanza for $30. This is a New York Giants. This is an embroidered patch on a baseball style windbreaker. Definitely vintage, and it sold for $50 on Bonanza. Bonanza's been on fire lately. This is a size 60 or a 3XL leather biker jacket. Quite big. We sold it once before and they never paid for $100. I think I had it up for $150, and we got another offer of $100, and we said yes, and they paid. So $100 on the 3XL biker jacket. These are military issued Bata boots. Bata is the brand. They also call them Mickey Mouse boots or bunny boots, which are the white ones. One time we bought an entire pallet full of these. Massive amount of boots. It was huge. And we sold them like crazy. But I think we just found these at a thrift store. And these sold on Bonanza for $60. This is a 100% wool Jeep cap. It is military issue. It is wool, which is awesome. It's kind of like a knit baseball cap. And there are a bunch of them online new with tags that sell for cheap. So I put mine up for $20 and it sold. This is a vintage St. Joseph's brand, pure aspirin tin. Probably from the 60s or 70s. It's empty. It's definitely got a cool look. And it sold for $20. Another vintage ski patch sold. This one says Ski Magic. But this is the logo for Magic Mountain, I believe, which is a ski place. I forget where it is. Vermont, maybe? Yeah, I think it might be in Vermont. And it sold for $20. This is a large leg brace, also called like an equalizer boot that you wear when you sprained your leg, broke your leg. It's got an air pump on it. And new, these are quite expensive. They can be like between $50 to $100. But we find them all the time, and we sell them easily for $30. This is a JP brand thick leather holster belt. It's for a cop. It's adjustable. It's actually got Velcro on here. We find this stuff at flea markets a bunch. And it sold for $47. These are a pair of men's long sleeve Dickies style work shirts. One is red camel and one is just some generic brand. And they sold for $30. This is a Target brand Embark nylon, like thick nylon briefcase or laptop case. We usually get these because they're super sturdy. If they're good quality, we'll get them. And this one sold for $30. This is another briefcase that sold. It's all leather. Again, just found at a thrift store. And it sold for $40. A lot of times if we go to our local thrift store and there's just really nothing, to be found, I will dig through the electrical, plugs and cables. There's always those boxes or corners full of that stuff. And you can find some good stuff. Like this is a Sony PSP charger. And it sold for $10.50. This is a Wilson brand cell phone signal booster, and we did plug it in and it did come on, and the person we bought it from at a yard sale said that it did work. So that is a risk because I couldn't exactly tell from my own cell phone, but all the signs point to it working. And the cool thing about these, this was just in a box of death, just kind of sitting there for like a year. And these are worth over $100. So this one sold for $125. This is a vintage 1970s Sterilite brand. Kitchen canisters on a Lazy Susan. Coffee, sugar, tea, and flour. So awesome. I never thought this would sell. It's quite large as well. But it did sell for $40. This is a vintage Namiji swirl vase. And it is made in, I believe, Minnesota. People collect them. Some of them sell for a lot of money. This one did not sell for a lot of money. It sold for $30. This is a Bun brand commercial warmer, double warmer for coffee pots. You see them at diners and restaurants all the time. I thought this would go for a lot more, but it was only worth $40. But it did sell, so it sold for $40. This is an amateur, unknown artist oil painting called Paris in Spring. We bought a bunch of this person's stuff, and it was cool. We sold a couple pieces by them. It's nicely painted. It's got a cool look. It's got a great frame. We had it up for, I don't know, over $100, but we took a best offer of $60. This is the vintage lineman's belt that we sold. I had it up for $80. You can see it's pretty rough, but it is thick leather. I definitely packed it before videotaping it by accident. And we took a best offer of $60. This is a vintage Le Sport sack, shoulder bag, purse. I had it up for $49, and I took a best offer of $39. This is a vintage Russian military camo field hat. It's got kind of like ear flaps. And we bought a bunch of these, I think military surplus. Like a bunch. Like 30. And we've been selling them over the years. And this one sold for $36.99. These are trigger finger mittens. They are military issued. Mitten insert wool and nylon, and they just fit the thumb and the trigger finger there. And we got these in a huge lot a while ago, several years ago, and I thought they were so cool, but they have been very, very slow to sell. So these sold for $6. Okay, my thumb is in the way because my camera does not like focusing on shiny objects. So this is a lot of 16 Baldwin brand, brand new shiny brass hinges. Now, if you look these up on Amazon or just online, they cost about $20 each. They're kind of insanely priced. They're gorgeous, very high end. But we sold a lot of 16 for $300, which is a great sale. And I'm very happy about that. This is a pair of Obermeyer brand wool and nylon blend made in Japan. Ski pants. They got the stirrups. And I looked up to see how long we've had these, and we've had them since 2012. So I was thrilled to get an offer today of $30. Okay, this is another hardware experiment. New in the box, pop-up drain oil rub bronze by a brand named Kraus. And I believe we paid $5 for these. And I have them on Amazon, but I recently put them on eBay. And this one sold on eBay for $30. This is a pair of purple leather Enzo Angiolini leather flats. They're nice. They're leather on the bottom. A little bit worn, but not too bad. They're cute. And they sold for $40. This is a very cool faux fur garrison hat, winter hat. It is currently freezing outside, so it makes sense that someone bought this. And it sold for $27. That's why it's funny that these sold, because it's freezing outside. But I'm assuming someone's going on vacation. These are Eddie Bauer sandals. They do have a lot of marks you can see and wear. But they are still cool, maybe just for hanging out on the beach or whatever. And I sold them for $14.